It's the time to get down.
But tell you what, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. The good news, the bad news, and the other shit. Ooh. Like I said, big day today in politics because everything's in the... You got a bunch of stuff you might get announcements about the travel ban, about Obamacare as the Republicans attempt to repeal. So you've got a bunch of happenings. This today. All morning, I've been sort of keeping an eye on the testimony that's going on. You have the FBI and the NSA directors that are speaking, basically talking about, they've already acknowledged that there's been no evidence of any wiretap. Yet the president continues to now I'm going to tell you, people say, why, Mario, why won't he give up on this one? And I'm going to tell you. So that's one of the things. And the second hour, we're going to talk about what we need to do after the president is impeached. The president is trying to get ahead of the reports because he knows that ultimately you're going to get intelligence reports that indict him. He knows that. Now, I want to be the one who explains this to you so that you can tell me later on that I was right. The president has already shown distinct patterns of operation, the way he does things. Because of that, I'm going to assume that the campaign was run the same way. He's been breaking the law from the beginning. He was breaking laws when he was a private citizen and skirting the lines, and he's continued to operate in the same fashion. So as you learn and dig, you're going to find more and more instances of him doing things that were either borderline illegal or then ultimately illegal. And remember, I'm basing this off of his just total disregard for what is considered to be convention or law. He is willing to play those games with breaking the laws, and I'm betting that he has done it over and over again, and that he managed his campaign the same way he's doing now. And that he ignores the advice of experts. He continues to talk and hang himself. It was really his speech that got his travel ban. Had he just shut up, then the travel ban would have gone through the second time. The first time still it was a bad document because Rudy Giuliani wrote it.
Right.
That tells you what kind of lawyer he is. Anyway, the point being, just not following any temps or protocols and freewheeling everything. Those are the exact kinds of things that have continued to blow up in the president's face. Things that were obviously need to be done. And of course, keeping your mouth shut is part of it. So, one, I'm going to tell you that the more they dig, the more they're going to find. The part of the reason why I told you that this is kind of interesting, and this is my other prediction. The NSA is different. Nobody's going to talk about ongoing investigations. They've been investigating Trump since before the election.
Yeah.
And that's why they're treading lightly, because they want to make sure they have every little duck in order.
Right.
But but I'm sure that the NSA has all these things on him.
Yeah.
I'm betting that.
Why would they not?
The Russians know. Right. The Russians are the ones who told Trump, your people are watching you. So when Trump says he's being tapped, he's not lying. It's just not a tap. They're watching the Russians who are constantly communicating with him, because he's still communicating with them. Because that's where he got that. The reason why he thinks he was wiretapped, because his Russian friends told him, your people are watching you. We know that. And that's why the FBI can't confirm it, nor can the NSA, because if the NSA and the CIA pick up those Russians, communications. They're going to follow that till the end. And they're not going to tell you. So when Trump's Russian friends told him through their own channels, they said, we know that our counterparts in America are watching you.
Right.
So he's going, how are they watching you? Because they're doing their things. So he's going, I'm being watched, I'm being tapped, he doesn't know the difference because he's an idiot. He doesn't read anything. Which goes to show you can be really wonderful in one area and an idiot in another area. You can be wonderful in real estate and obviously a jerk and ignorant. So there you go. So here we are today. So I'm the one, remember I told you, I'm predicting that they're going to find all the dirt, that there's been an ongoing investigation that's been classified since, for over a year. For over a year. Going back to when he was working with the Russian oligarchs. They're going to watch that anyway. He was already doing money deals that would have got him watched, you guys. That's why he can't turn in his taxes. That's why, and I'm the one who told you he leaked the 05 taxes. He leaked those himself. Why 05? And 2 pages. My own tax return is like 30 pages long.
Well, they talked about that. They talked about his going back some years as a subject during that time.
Yeah, that's the last time he was clean with any kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he had a clean moment in 05. So this is the stuff. So today you have a busy week. Busy day, a busy week, because you may get something back too on, they want to get a vote. They want to get a vote on Obamacare. They want to get a vote. Now remember, what's so amazing to me, from what I'm understanding, is that if it were to pass, the people who would be most damaged would be Trump supporters. Because that extension of Medicaid, which is part of it, I guess that's most of the money.
Right.
That's the medical benefits they've never had.
Right. True. Absolutely.
So that's what's going on today. I've been commenting on Facebook openly. A bunch of people are commenting. I see some of my regulars out there on Facebook. You know, Wendy Bautista out there. I see Adele Woodson Bailey. Everybody, a lot of them up there. Ty Ware, they're up watching and paying attention, because it's an amazing thing in this news. I see Anaya too.
Right.
Having problems with that. That's why so many resets to guys. A lot of problems about technical today.
Well, you know, and I'm challenging people because I'm actually over here looking at the mobile stream and the Facebook stream. Facebook look good. Just letting people know. And I'm always at Soto Koto. I'm in the chat room, and hey Meredith, what's up? If you can see me, cool. If you can't, I know because you went into his auto channel program. But you know, I always tell people, try the simplest one. And the alternative is, say, just check and see how a mobile smart device.
The Facebook just froze up again.
It froze up again? Yeah, maybe it. But and just check the mobile stream, paxstereo.mobi. See if it comes through your device. I know that's not at the channel location, but it's what they call the alternative verification that this stream is coming through. Because I'm checking here as well. And until you said something, Facebook was fine, because I was checking the links on Facebook as well. So
once it goes out,
yeah,
behind me,
right, and I'm checking that as well. And so far,
that it's going. Yeah, so I've got it back, but do you think will it stream? I'm so tired of this shit.
No, man, you can't be.
Okay, I'm not tired of it.
No,
right,
man.
Vic's right.
You can't be, man.
I can't be tired of it. I've got to embrace it.
You own this.
It's mine.
Run this. What?
Whose bitch is this?
Thank you. You can't, know. Hey, look, let me say something. Name something in life that's guaranteed. And there's only 2 things.
Death and taxes.
Thank you. Everything else is flow chart. It's just like your flow and chart it, man. That's about it. Just say, look, there's a reason why we call streams within streams. If everybody is actually going to this point where all of a sudden you're getting your smart device to check your stream on demand, then the part I say is, if you're practicing the desktop PC, which we've done for a long time, which is cool, It's empowerment. It's a device. It's the armchair. You get to sit, rock, and stroll. But the community is doing this on demand through smart devices and everything. So get ready to get used to pulling it up. And I love it every time I pull up. Not trying to toot Mario's horn, but I got a big ass trumpet that says Pax Stereo .mobi. Every time I go there, it's like magic, man. So I'm going with what they call the alternative. But I like what we're trying to do at Facebook. See, I always think there's a conspiracy at Facebook. I always believe this. Are you guys paying? How much are you paying? You're not paying that much. Okay, Frank, hit the wiggle button. Hit the wiggle button.
Might be. Shit, I'm usually paying.
Right. That's what
all right.
Okay.
So those of you interested in the news and the politics, you're going to spend all day, I will be too, watching those things. Now, point number 2. I think this is an important point of the news broadcast this week. Trump's going to ultimately be removed from office. And while you all may feel inclined to have a wonderful moment of glee and celebrating like you just won the Super Bowl, you still got about 40% of the American public that's going to be pissed off. Worse, because they didn't believe before. They thought they had something with Trump, and then they found out that that was a joke too. So that's another slap in the face for them. Now, some of them, because of the reasons they chose Trump, bigotry and other things, some of us might be inclined to say, well, that's what they deserve. Hence, but I would come back to you and say, that's counterproductive. And on a spiritual level, it's just not the best either.
Right.
We need to recognize that a lot of the Trump's supporters, even though we're over here as the people of color more group, more immigrant group over here, our community, but we need to recognize that these white folks mostly have come to feel disenfranchised in many of the same ways we have felt disenfranchised. Unfortunately, they used to believe that they were part of the system and that their vote counted. The Tea Party and all those movements proved to them they were just like us. Their vote doesn't count, and their opinions don't count. So they go for Trump, and they're going to find out that he's a fake and a fraud. And so they're going to now, you have 40% of the American public in some form of unrest. That's not productive. So I think that we ought to start to begin to consider what the offers are for the people. And unfortunately, all of mine, they're not going to do it because they would have to, the same money they were going to increase defense spending, turn it to social programs. So $54 billion, turn it to social programs. Because I sat and watched the coal mining community in West Virginia. And I said, these people are up there, they are desperate, they have no hope. They're looking at their children and going, their children have no hope. They got no health care. Coal is a dying industry, as it should be. Why can't we tell them all they don't pay any taxes and that we retrain them as a community with investment? See, but everybody says that's too expensive. Says who? $54 billion in the defense, they say is in shambles. It's the best defense in the whole world. We spend more than the next 3 people combined. Combined. Come on. They talk about the Defense Department in shambles. If you're in shambles and you're the best in the world, what the hell does that mean? And I mean not even where it's not even close. Your military, your Navy, your Air Force, the numbers of hardware you have, submarines, tanks, dwarf everybody else. The number of nuclear weapons dwarfs. You could have destroyed the world 100 times years ago. So the military's got enough money because of all that money you spend on them and the classified budgets of the NSA and all that stuff, then you don't know. You don't know. So we need to take that money and reinvest in individuals and people. And if we just did it on an economic basis, that would be fine because you would get a lot of people of color you would get people that we would get white folks too. Maybe this is the instance where it should be fair. We should help everybody underneath a certain income level, enrolling folks in programs. You have whole communities like that of West Virginia that are affected by industry changes like that you know and you're part of. We should have some kind of an outreach for them. And they talk about retraining people like the people in Detroit. But of course you won't do that. That's too much to ask for. But let me say this. You will have to deal with the fact that when you impeach Trump, that 40% of the American public are going to be having a very bad day. And that's going to affect you. Know that it is. Know that it is.
Can I ask you something? Are the local politicians in places like West Virginia expressing the type of sentiments that you're expressing? Or are they on the political washboard of, ooh?
They were. I watched them. I watched.
Just saying, man.
I watched in the community where they had a town hall. I watched them make fun of their political.
That's right. I've seen.
They like the little local ones because the local ones are saying we ain't getting nothing.
Right.
But they talked about Mitch McConnell and said he's not doing anything to help them.
But see, you and I both know this, that at the local level, they're trying to survive and stay in their position. And if they go out and say, hey, look, at the end of the day, this is what we need. And then they go and then vote and say, well, we have to go in here now and vote. We got to vote in the Senate, wherever, the House, whatever the level. You know, the average everyday person is not really following that, right?
Well, right.
So, do you keep your local politicians more accountable to how they support?
My point is that they're not being responsive to the community.
Right.
The community knows that, and maybe that's the kind of activity you need. But again, and let me say this too, Obama administration could have attacked this too. This was my issue with him. He was the same on the money. Mm-hmm. Okay, they all are kind of the same on the money. That's a story we can get into at another time. Mm-hmm. But to me, there's been no rebels on the money. No rebels. So that means the way business is done every day. That's the part Bush, Reagan, Obama, all of them do the same.
And your debt, your $1 trillion debt keeps growing.
Learn that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you consider I'm a leftist, and I know. So we can talk about the money, because all the money is dirty, but no one messes with the money. You know who's messing with the money? Trump. That may be the one thing that gets him, because he's messing with NAFTA. He wants every NATO, he's messing all of it up. So you never know. I'm just saying, they all get indicted by me, and I'm of the opinion you should trust no governments, ever. All governments are inherently corrupt. Totally.
By greed.
It's just a matter of to what degree. But all governments you need to be watching closely. They're all corrupt. You need to stay in their ass watching them. And they all service the business community.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. That's the good news. The bad news.